We thank you for your commitment to the integration and the prosperity of our people. I would like to pay special tribute to His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, former President of Ghana, for his leadership not only of Ghana, but also of Ecowas during very trying times. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this event is the beginning of a string of activities that will take place in each member state of Ecowas as a way of giving concrete expression to the ideal of Ecowas of the people. In marking the 50th anniversary, our objective is to celebrate, reflect, and recalibrate our community. In the current context, many would be forgiven for asking if there is anything about Ecowas that should be celebrated. Our response to such cynicism is an emphatic yes, and I have my reasons. First, ECOWAS is the most integrated community in Africa. In a recent interview, Alhaji Aliko Dangote lamented that he required visa for over 30 African countries. If an entrepreneur of Dangote's caliber can go through such hassles, can you imagine what ordinary people go through to travel within the continent? Thank God, no ECOWAS member state is among the countries that require Mr. Dangote to have a visa. This is because ECOWAS has adopted a free movement protocol that gives each ECOWAS citizen the right to visa-free movement, the right to residence, and the right to establishment across the region. These freedoms make the ECOWAS community the most integrated regional economic community on the continent. This, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, is a good reason to celebrate. Two, ECOWAS has an effective trade liberalization scheme. The ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme is ECOWAS's preferential trade arrangement. Since the inception of the trade liberalization scheme, more than 15,000 companies have been registered under the scheme and benefit from the preferential treatment within ECOWAS for more than 50,000 products. The Interconnected System for the Management of Goods in Transit, SIGMAT, has been launched to connect national customs offices in the ECOWAS region to facilitate the regional transit trade and increase the pace and ease of international trade. The system is now fully operational in 7 countries. This too, Excellency, together with the common external tariff, is a good reason to celebrate. 3, ECOWAS has a promising regional energy and infrastructure programs. The community has developed a 25-year master plan, which comprises 201 regional projects covering all member states. These have been estimated to cost about $131 billion. The 4 key sectors covered are transport, energy, telecommunication, and water resources. Within this context, Excellencies, key infrastructure projects have been launched. These include the Lagos-Abidjan Corridor Highway, as well as the Abidjan-Praia Corridor Highway, and several secondary corridors and joint border posts. The 1,028-kilometer Lagos-Abidjan Corridor Highway is one of the largest economic corridors on the continent. About $42 million has been successfully mobilized to finance the technical preparatory studies of the project. The feasibility and preliminary design studies, which have been completed, show a significant investment cost of nearly $15 billion, with an average economic rate of return of 15%. The corridor, the Abidjan-Lagos Corridor, Excellencies, is now ready for investors. In the same vein, preparations are underway for the development of the Abidjan-Praia Corridor that will consist of a maritime and shipping line from Praia in Cape Verde to Dakar in Senegal, and a 6-lane highway from Dakar in Senegal to Abidjan in Côte d'Ivoire, going through Banjul, Bissau, Freetown, and Monrovia. The technical and preparatory studies for this project have commenced and are expected to be completed shortly. In addition to these major corridors, other corridors include the Nigeria-Cameroon Highway and Transport Facilitation Program, the Mano River Multinational Highway and Transport Facilitation Project. All these initiatives are a source of hope, and so are the joint border posts that seek to limit the duplication of procedures and paperwork at border crossings. In the energy sector, Ecowas and international partners have embarked upon several generation and interconnection projects within the region. These include electrification projects in the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, and Mali through the Ecowas Regional Electricity Access Project, ECORE. Similarly, electricity interconnection has been established with all 14 continental countries of the region. It is hoped that the completion of the Information and Coordination Center of the West African Power Pool will enable member states to buy and sell electricity within the region. In this regard, the ECOWAS Regional Electricity Sector Regulatory Authority, ERIRA, has been established here in Ghana with a mandate to regulate cross-border electricity exchange among ECOWAS member states. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, these efforts are being complemented by the Regional Off-Grid Electricity Access Project, launched by the ECOWAS Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, ECRE. The project, that has an estimated cost of $340 million, seeks to facilitate access to off-grid electricity for households, businesses, and public institutions. Excellencies, ECOWAS has solid socio-economic development programs. I can go on to cite several such programs, such as the regional initiative, such as the West African Regional Digital Integration, regional regulatory frameworks on roaming, ECOWAS competition and investment regimes, ECOWAS intervention through WAHO, the West African Health Organization, on Ebola, on COVID, on Mpox, as well as the initiatives in the area of education, including vocational education. We can also cite the regional food reserves and humanitarian initiatives, the ECOWAS Rise Offensive, and climate-smart agricultural projects. All these programs and initiatives give us hope, and therefore constitute a reason to celebrate. But Excellencies, nothing is worth celebrating more than ECOWAS's role in peace and security in the region. Here, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire, the Gambia and Guinea-Bissau come to mind. It was the valiant ECOWAS peacekeepers and several rounds of peace talks that brought peace to Liberia, Sierra Leone and Cote d'Ivoire. And it was ECOWAS that ensured that the will of the people of the Gambia prevailed in 2016. These are accomplishments worth celebrating, and so are efforts geared towards the fight against organized crime, including piracy. The establishment of the maritime security zones in the region and the strong partnerships built around maritime security have contributed to the decline in the incidences of piracy in our region, with 0 piracy incident recorded in 2024. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the celebrations of ECOWAS' 50th anniversary must go hand in hand with reflections with a view to recalibration. One area that requires reflection is the low level of intra-community trade. Despite being a customs union, but most significantly, we must address supply-side constraints by raising productivity in our communities and in our economies. To raise productivity, we must be able to attract investment both from within and from outside the region. Our market of 400 million people is a potential magnet to investors. This, once again, underlines the importance of regional integration, as few meaningful investors are attracted by the small size of our individual domestic markets. We must also invest in peace and security. The terrorist menace that constitute a key driver of insecurity in the region knows no borders. This makes security collaboration within the region imperative. In this regard, I would like to salute efforts being deployed by His Excellency President Mahama, President Faure Gnassingbé, President Bassirou Diomaye Faye, and indeed the Chair of ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, aimed at bringing about reconciliation and fostering collaboration between ECOWAS and the countries that belong to the Alliance for Sahelian State. Despite the challenges, I remain optimistic that we will collectively preserve and build on the gains of regional integration for our people who are united by blood. Long live ECOWAS, long live West Africa, long live Africa. Thank you for
Ladies and gentlemen, we just heard from Dr. Omar Alieu Touré, President of the ECOWAS Commission, and before that we also heard from the Honorable Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, Minister of Foreign Affairs. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate 50 years, we are celebrating the past, but I also would like to doff my hat to the organizing committee for more or less anticipating a wonderful, vibrant, and ambitious future for the continent of Africa by inviting some young men and women into our midst. Ladies and gentlemen, I humbly ask you to give a round of applause to the representatives of our educational system here. West Africa Senior High School, you're very welcome.